And welcome to an all-new Marvel Cast Explosion Network's hub of all things Marvel, a place to talk about everything MCU and beyond, from Avengers and Defenders to Box and Ghost Rider. My name's Ashley Hobley, the Explosion Network's resident fourth wall breaker. Joining me today is Ultimate Kieran Marchant.
Hi, I'd like us to really deep dive today into the most important question. Was the why actually needed?
I think so.
I don't know, it wasn't where you expected, and it didn't need to be
It kind
where
of
it
was, yeah. I mean, it was in either... There was really two places it could have been, you know?
It shouldn't have been in the second place. There's only one place it should have been.
Also joining us to discuss this, Dylan Blight.
Oh my god, guys, I watched The Many Saints in New York, and I did not think it was as good as The Sopranos TV series. It was okay.
Damn, that was pretty good. Do you have experience?
But where do you have... What's your opinion on the why? What's surprising? Or the placement?
I was shocked, personally.
After
Blew me
the
right
S?
out of my seat.
Crazy. Right, we're here today to talk about the latest episode of She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, Episode 4, Is This Not Real Magic? Directed by Coiro, written by Melissa Hunter. She-Hulk's new client, Wong, is suing a magician for unauthorized use of the mystic arts. Ciaran, what do you think of this week's episode of She-Hulk, Attorney at Law?
I think it was okay. I think it was okay at best. I didn't absolutely love it. I thought it started well, and its premise was interesting. I thought, I was maybe a bit caught off guard why all of a sudden we were going on about Jen's dating, and Jen's this focus on Jen needing a dating profile, and I was like, have I missed something?
Wow, Ciaran, Jen can't have a dating life?
Yeah, but it just came out of nowhere. It just came out of nowhere compared to where we finished last week's episode off. And then I just feel like...
Life-threatening things make you question where you are in life, you know?
Sure.
You get attacked by 4 guys? I need to go see more men now.
But I just think a lot of the stuff was rushed this episode in the end. I think the ending couple of minutes just kind of rushed to wrap up absolutely everything in the episode. Maybe that's just a very sitcom-y thing, and that I felt very kind of underdone in a lot of the storylines in the end, and it was okay. I don't know. I'm a bit lukewarm on the episode as a whole. You two will both say you probably loved it, but it's fine.
Yeah. Dylan, did you love this episode?
I loved it. It was so good. What? I'm not even being sarcastic. This episode was literally what I was talking about last week, saying that this is what I just want the show to be. So, if every episode is just this is the content. This is all I need. I don't need long-running big storylines for She-Hulk with big villains to take on. I just need random shit like some magician who got kicked out of fucking Kamar-Taj after a week. I love that. That's great. I love this shit. I love this random girl who's just the best part of the episode. Just talking about Sopranos and being like, Wongers! It's so good. It is so good. I don't know. That's the thing. I do criticize some of these Marvel shows when they're trying, but this is clearly trying to hit a sitcom genre, and it's trying to be funny. And I honestly feel like this is the best Marvel's sort of done comedy or genre. As far as I'm this show's setting out to do something, and I think it's 100% achieving what it's aiming to be. So yeah, I'm really liking it. All the jokes are funny. I felt so bad for that. I want to punch that motherfucking dude at the end, Mr. Bad Feminist, walking out on Jen after
pediatric oncologist.
Yeah, fuck him, man. Yeah, that's how I feel. Fuck that guy. Also, the
only there for a body.
The opening of the episode be like, hey, you seen Wong? I bet you'd be really happy right now. And then the part at the end, she's like, man, what a crappy way to end the episode. I hope the sting is good. And it was, because we got Wongers. That's good shit.
Yeah, I enjoyed the episode as well. I think, it's a solid, middle of the season kind of sitcom episode, where it's just a fun adventure. Obviously, we explore, I guess, a little bit, the mystic arts and how it can be mishandled by...
No, we did a whole movie about that. It's called Spider-Man No Way Home.
I mean...
And Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
I think
Multiverse.
And Scarlet Witch's show,
WandaVision.
Also known as WandaVision.
Those are all very good points.
And also, I feel like
what we're saying here really is nobody should do magic because it's too risky.
And The Prestige also is a movie about why magic can go bad.
That's true. That's it. Yeah.
I'd also like to.
I haven't seen The Illusionist, but I assume magic goes bad in that as well.
I'd also like
I haven't
to
seen that
ask
either.
the question: what's the difference between a dimension and another timeline of reality? You know.
Well, another dimension can exist within this reality.
In this timeline, there could be multiple of the
In this
same
timeline.
timelines in multiple dimensions.
Come on. Get your shit together.
It's all a circle. But yes, Madison was a great addition to the show, and I hope she's, look forward to her and her best Betty Wongers in more adventures. Or
I hope so.
Let's have a series of them just watching stuff together.
This show has the best after credit scenes, I think, of anything Marvel's done for years, to be honest. Like, every week is just hit after hit.
Well, I mean, it's different to everything they've done in the last 5 years, where it's not just random character we've never seen before shows up.
Yeah, that's why they're good. They're good because they're actually like stingers used to be before Marvel just made them Easter egg and like setups for something else. They're just fun stingers. They're just fun. Love it.
Absolutely. So we opened the episode with Donnie Blaze, a magician who was expelled from Kamatage, doing a shitty magician's show in like a magic castle ripoff, doing like magic tricks like illusion. I don't know how you describe normal magic or what we've got in the actual world as opposed to mystic.
Like, you know the tricks you get out of a magician's kit, like a crappy magician's box.
I know they were all bad, but I loved how bad they were throughout the entire episode. So he's obviously no one's enjoying it because this is a world in which real magic exists and people have been impressed by real magic. But he does have one of the sling rings, and he creates a portal to another dimension. And Madison
goblins
has
of creatures of some kind.
Goblins, fire demons, and a goat demon that apparently
she had to do a deal with a demon, but she can't talk about it.
Yeah, maybe his name is Jack. Maybe his name is Mephisto. We'll find out later. Kieran's face. And then Wong is in the middle of about to watch an episode of Sopranos.
Season 5.
Season 5.
12.
I reckon.
Yeah.
So no one here's watched The Sopranos other than me, right?
No, but now I'm all spoiled. So there's no point.
That's true. Because the shot originally was the music playing. I'm like, will they transition with the music? I'm like, why the fuck are they playing the Sopranos theme song? And I just thought they were using that song randomly. But when it actually just shot to TV, clearly says like season 5, episode 12 or whatever. I was like, what a weird
yeah. The HBO on a Disney show.
HBO, Disney. Yeah, HBO has their own streaming service, right?
Yeah, you couldn't pull from any Disney show. There's nothing in their catalog that they could have been appropriate.
Wong watches adult HBO shows.
Well, I think the other show that he watches is a Disney property. So,
what was the other show?
This Is Us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is ABC. So I'm pretty sure that's Disney.
That's Disney. Yeah.
Yeah, so Madison shows up in Wong's place, and Wong's like, I need to shut this down. I'm going to go talk to a lawyer that I know. Jen, meanwhile, she's starting her day. Her dad comes over. What a nice dad. Like, comes over after hearing about her being assaulted with, new locks, cameras, and a shovel. What's the shovel for? Digging holes. That's... yeah.
I like how she says, like, if they ever attack me again... I'll just beat him up again, and then you can use the shovel. I was like, ooh, shit.
Ooh, yeah. So that's enjoyable. So we get to the office. They're hanging out. Then Wong shows up, because we all love Wong. They have that, pretty much, we saw in one of the trailers, like, explaining why he needs to be stopped. But, the mystic arts aren't really covered in American law, which is an issue. There's no written contracts in Kamatage. A bit of an oversight considering
they never sign anything. Yeah. Never sign any NDAs, anything. It's a big oversight, I think.
I mean, I think normally the fear of being sent to the mirror dimension would be enough, but whatever.
Yeah.
So they go to Johnny Blaze's place to send the cease and desist. With my favourite moments where he makes the cease and desist disappear and just says it's poking under your shirt. And his random hype man dude just pokes it back in.
His assistant,
love that. They go to court. It's a whole shit show, including the return of Madison, who is very drunk and gives her testimony, which she says it was fun.
Is she drunk? Or does she always just talk like that?
I think she was a little bit tipsy.
I think she was tipsy. She was slurring a bit.
I hope she was slurring a bit. Well, she wasn't walking straight. She said her experience was fun, then scary, then fun again, then spooky, but in a fun way. Which isn't a great testimony. So they're allowed to keep practicing their magic, but the next time he goes to do his magic show, he opens a giant portal to some demon dimension with these demon creatures coming out that hatch out of dove eggs. It's pretty messed up.
Yeah.
Kind of weird.
Wong has to come save the day, werewolves. And then he ropes in Jen for some reason, just to help. He doesn't have a billion students at Kamatage who could have been a bit more useful than him, her.
She was already involved in the case, so he just thought of her first.
Yeah, I guess double.
Really,
two birds, one stone. That's the word.
Really, all Wong had to do was just start opening portals to some terrifying shit, and then be like, "Should this be done in magic shows with people just stood next to them?" Probably not, eh?
No. I love her friend, the one he did that night. She's like, I'm not going through your fire hole because you put my friend in like some gas station in the middle of nowhere last week. Good times. Of course, we do also have Jen trying to date. She goes on one date with her profile. Terrible. Just the most awkward situation I can possibly imagine.
The
dude texting and looking at other women during the date and like not listening to anything she says.
And then when he walks away, he's like, "She's a 6 at best."
Yep. So on what's her friend's name again?
Good question.
It's not Ginger's the actor. Nikki suggests she creates a She-Hulk profile. In a moment of weakness, she does. She gets up on the matches. And then she goes on like 60 dates in one day, like 5 dates in the one night. I guess
she goes speed dating.
Speed dating.
She just walks in.
Bunch of random dudes. There was David Otunga from WWE.
There was. I was like, oh, he's a lawyer. He's a fellow lawyer.
He was a lawyer. That was his thing. He had a little law degree. Is he still married to
Jennifer Hudson?
Possibly.
Possibly. Who knows?
He's like all about bulking up and whatever. I think the one that I would bring people's attention to is John Bass as Todd.
Yeah, that was random.
That was random, but is it foreshadowing for something? Because of the way he was asking questions.
Oh, I think he could. I think I was like, oh, he's just a creepy fan until he said the word specimen, and then I was like, there's some like underlying
something shade in there.
Yeah.
And his name was featured in the credits, which would somewhat imply that he could be back. And he's listed on the Wikipedia article as well. So, yeah. And then we get, old oncologist dude who seems super happy when she's She-Hulk, but when he sees her the next day as regular old Jen, not interested. What a dick.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy. Which, at least she had a good night.
I'm trying to decide if he's, is it just that he's only into, like, really buff women, or is it that he's got a thing for people who are green?
No. I think he likes... Well, I think it's more the buff women thing, but I think he liked her picking him up. And... Maybe because a lot of buff dudes like.
I mean, he was very into it from the start, so I don't think it was about her picking him up.
Well, it's the fact that he knew she could.
I mean, it helped. guess.
Because he's a big dude. He was a buff dude. Obviously,
Buff dude. He
Those
just wants to
guys
be
like
the little
to-
spoon.
Exactly. Those guys like to go. Yeah, those guys like to surrender power, and obviously he saw Jen and was like, "Oh, that doesn't work."
You're not. I can't be a sub to you. Yeah. Yeah. So we end the episode with Jen getting some legal document.
So
she's getting sued by Titania.
Yeah, for trademark over the name She-Hulk.
Titania has trademarked She-Hulk.
Apparently, she brought the trademark prior to her. To which I'm like,
because
She-Hulk
why would She-Hulk?
like-
Why would Jen ever think to trademark?
Yeah,
But
her
also
name?
at the same time, I'm like, I feel like that's a thing that they wouldn't be allowed to do, and also trademark law takes a very long time.
Mm.
Who knows how long this has been going on? Maybe she bought the name years ago randomly.
Yeah, like you buy random URLs.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
Pleasure Explosion.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
That's-
And you just find a purpose for them down the line.
Final purpose.
That's what
Yeah,
happens. Yeah, so it's kind of crazy that, this is episode 4. Episode 5, we're finally probably going to get a focused episode around Titania, who we got in the first episode. For, a brief moment.
It's a big build.
It is a big build. Anything else you want to discuss from this week's episode of She-Hulk Attorney at Law?
No, I would just like to say that Wongers is the best nickname ever given to any.
Wongers!
I was always disappointed that she wasn't Australian. I get it, the Valley Girl was appropriate for the character, but that's a very Australian nickname for somebody, Wongers.
I just like how Wong doesn't even care. Let's say at the end, he's like,
He likes
Wong
it.
is-
He loves it.
Yeah, I can't remember what the drink is, but she's like, I don't know if they have endless whatever
Gin and tonics.
Gin and tonic Wongers, but we'll have to go. Whatever.
Man,
It's
what a
funny.
tag. Just listing a bunch of drinks.
He's like, had it. I haven't had that. Had it. No, never again. It was just so
Vodka and yak
random.
milk. No,
Yeah.
she's into it.
That's
I
She'll have a taste.
appreciate that he was like, no, I don't want to hang out with you, Madison. And then she's like, we can watch more Sopranos. And he's like, yes, okay. I was like,
But then he completely ruins more.
She spoils another big major death of this show. So
All right. Let us know what you think of this week's She-Hulk Attorney at Law by going to explosion.com/Twitter or jump to our Discord at explosion.com/Discord. If you want to help us out here at All New Marvelcast, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and Podchaser. Leave us 5 stars anywhere you can leave 5 stars. It will tell people about Australia's #1 MCU podcast. And if you really like this episode, thought it was worth $1, head on over to our Ko-fi page at explosion.com/support. All right, make sure you watch next week's episode of She-Hulk Attorney at Law and join us next time for another All New Marvelcast. Wongers.